CRF 300L. That's a good bike. We're down here at what they call Lance's Hole, again, down by the river. Down here on this sandbar. Is it a big deal? Nah, it's just someplace I like to come. A place I like to come down and ride to. I like to come down on the bike. That's just the way I am. You know, every once in a while you watch videos and you hear people say some outlandish things, and so I got a question for you. Do you know the difference between a liar and a bullshitter? Well, there ain't a whole lot of difference between them, but a liar will tell you a lie to try to make themselves look good. A bullshitter, it tells you a lie to bullshit to top what you just told, and it's all in good fun. No harm meant, no harm taken. But anyway, you know, I hear people talk about motorcycles and motorcycle riding and things that you should do and things that you shouldn't do. Well, think of motorcycles like playing a guitar. You ever played a guitar? If not, then you really don't know what I'm talking about. But, you know, it's just kind of a comparison. I have played many different guitars in my lifetime. I'm not any good at it, but I just do it for my own enjoyment. I played Martins, I played Stratocasters, I played Gibson Les Pauls. I've touched, quite a few. I even won't tell what it's called, Rickenbacker or whatever it's called. I even hadn't handled one of them once. Okay? And, you know, they're all basically the same thing. They're all guitars, right? But every damn one of them played different. Every damn one of them had their own personality. Every one of them was just like the other as far as being basic things, same thing, but they were all different. And there's my point. Motorcycles. They might be all the same, 2 wheels, motor, and all this kind of stuff, but they're all different. Okay, now with that being said, motorcycle riders, they're all the same. They all do the same thing. They ride 2 wheels, and they ride it for many different reasons. Okay, and there's where the comparison starts to change. They do it for many different reasons. Some do it for the camaraderie. Some people do it to fit into a certain clique. Some people do it to, like me, just get away from everything, you know. And so everybody has got the reason why they ride motorcycles. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. Anytime somebody says, well, this myth needs to die, or this is 10 things that irritate me, or you shouldn't be doing this, and if you do this, and everybody knows you're a newbie, okay, well, here's what I tell all these people. Who gives a shit? Okay? And here's the deal. We all have our different beliefs, because we're all different people. And if you'd stop thinking about it, if everybody played the guitar the same way, we'd only have one song in the world. If everybody rode a motorcycle the same way, we'd all be bored. We'd all be riding the same spot. We'd be riding circles. We'd only have one motorcycle to ride. And that's what I'm saying. The reason why, and I'm not going to use the damn word diversity because that's been beat to hell. I'm going to say variety. Difference of opinion, okay? So that's why we have different kind of motorcycles. We have a chance to do our own thing our own way, okay? And that's what motorcycle is all about. It ain't about the flashing, the flaming, and all this horse shit. It's just about doing things your way, okay? It gives you a chance to be something that they're trying to forget nowadays. It gives you a chance to be an individual, okay? To think your own mind, okay? I'm not saying sometimes that you don't think the wrong things. Well, sometimes we all, make mistakes because we're just people. But you gotta, you at least don't let somebody take us up. And and I guess the reason why I say things like this is because all these people are trying to say they're writing gurus. And I'm not going to mention no names because I don't, if I piss them off, I piss them off, and they can tell me I'm full of shit, which I am. But, it's just, there's a couple of people on there and they talk about, well, we're older and we're mature writers. Well, I watched their videos. They're probably in their 40s or maybe 50s. Okay, I'm 73 fucking years old. Okay, just plain simple. Do I know everything? No. But I ain't gonna let some goddamn wet behind the ears 50-year-old tell me what I'm doing wrong. Okay, if you don't like what I'm doing, then don't look. Number one rule for riding motorcycles, and this is, you know, bar none, number one rule: know the bike, learn the bike, ride the bike. Trust nobody on the road. Don't trust the road. Don't trust the weather. Don't trust the animals. Don't trust nothing. Don't trust a walnut laying in the middle of the highway. Don't trust nothing. You know why? Because the only thing between you and that asphalt is you. How you react. So be ready to react. Be ready for anything that comes up, you know. So you've got to be thinking all the time. Now, there are times you can relax and take your time. If you're running 10, 15 mile an hour down the road there and you don't have a care in the world there and you just enjoy the ride, there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, you don't go to sleep, of course. But, you know, that's what I'm saying. It's all on you. Which brings me to another point. Safety gear, safety gear, safety gear, safety gear. I get sick and tired of people trying to shove safety gear down your throat. Do you know how many different safety gear manufacturers there are? Well, I'm not for sure, but look, and everybody's got, oh, this is a best feature. This is this, this is this, this is this. I'm not saying anything bad about safety gear. Safety gear is great if that's what you want. But you don't have to have safety gear to ride. You got to have good common sense. You've got to keep your sense about you. I had an accident, a motorcycle accident. This has been back in 2017, a week before I retired, and I wasn't wearing a helmet. And I'm going to explain this all to you. And I did an endo on a 650 KLR. Okay, and I hit my head. And everybody said, well, see if you've been wearing a helmet. Let me just keep going here. Okay, even if I had been wearing a helmet, and I honestly believe the way I hit, the way my head was all twisted and turned around here, I think that helmet would have broke my damn neck. Okay, I really do. And that's what I'm saying. You have to be there and you have to feel the situation to know exactly what's going on. Now, I could be full of shit. I could be wrong, you know. But anyway, and here's the deal. I caused that accident, okay? And everybody's going to say, so then why did you do what you're doing? I got a phone call from a friend. He was 7-8 miles away in another town. And he said, I'm here, where you at? And I said, well, I'm up here. I'll be there in just about, give me about 10 minutes. So, and I was on an unpaved road, on a dirt road. It wasn't even a dirt road, it was just grass, like in between farmers' fields. And I thought, well, I'll hurry up and get down there. So I gagged her and I cranked her up a little bit and I was running way too fast. And I knew better. I knew better, but I did it anyway. And there's my point. You've always got to know what's going on. You've always got to be aware, and don't make stupid decisions when you're riding. Okay. So anyway, it did an endo. I had a little old patch of mud that was hidden in the grass, and the bike slid out from underneath me. And I was running probably 35, 40 mile an hour. It piled right me right in the dirt there and jumped on top of me there and just stomped the living shit out of me. Okay. And it took me a good long time to get my senses back. To where I could even ride the bike. And I was 8 miles from home, 8 or 9 miles. So it's like, well, and I rode home. But anyway, that's kind of the story. And that's what I mean. Use your own good common sense. There's nothing wrong with safety gear and all this kind of stuff. It's great to have. It's good. And if it gives you a peace of mind, then you wear it. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't become complacent with it. Okay. I'm wearing my helmet. I got my chest protector. I got my skid pads, all this kind of stuff. You know, I can go out here and play the fool, and my chance of getting hurt are less than somebody that's not wearing anything. Well, you're playing a fool's game. You're playing Russian roulette with 5 shells in the chamber, okay, instead of 6. So do what you want. I'm just trying to get you to think for yourself. That's all. And this is all my opinion. Do I know what the hell I'm talking about? I'll just be the first to admit I'm full of shit, okay? But just want you to think for yourself. And like I said, these guys are talking about this. One guy says, this myth needs to die, that it's safer to drop your bike and slide out from underneath than what it is to do a T-bone head on. I'm going, what? He said, well, because you got control. If you're in a situation, you only got just seconds, just nanoseconds to think of what you're going to do, okay? So in that nanosecond, it's think, well, listen now, should I stay on the bike or should I try to drop this thing and try to lessen the blow? When you're in a nanosecond thought like that, you better react one way or another, because one way could get you killed and the other way could get you just hurt, okay? And that's what I'm saying. Every situation is different. Every situation is different. I've done both things. I've done both ways, okay? I've laid the bike down and slid it, and I thought, boy, I'm glad I did that, because otherwise I could have been, you know, in some deep shit. And also, by the same token, I've stayed on the bike and took the ditch and gagged it and dropped a couple of gears, gagged it, got out of it, okay? I've done it both ways. But you only have a nanosecond to think about it. You ain't got no time for second thought. It's about like hill climbing. Anybody that's ever rode bike and done any hill climbing, once you pick your line, don't change. Don't change in the middle, midstream. Just keep going, because that's the line you picked, and that's what your mind says that'll work, and that's what you do. If you change, you're gonna bite the dust. So anyway, and you know, like I said, I'm not saying anything bad about gear. I'm not, and you know, they always talk about things that annoy them. Well, if it annoys you, then leave. Here's the thing. If you're in a situation where something annoys you, leave. Just leave. And then think about that and say, well, next time I will put myself in that situation. That's why I don't do group rides. I have nothing against, you know, I'm a loner. I don't like group rides because I don't want to watch out and worry about what this guy's going to do. And it's like these guys that pull wheelies and stuff, all that stuff. I take my hat off to them. I thought, boy, I wish I could do that, but I can't. But even at that, they should have enough common sense not to do it on crowded roads. Okay, I'll give them that. And in that case, they should get their ass busted. But you know, as far as their ability goes, you know, yeah, I admire them. But you know, I'm not going to try to egg them on there, you know, to do that in a crowded street or a highway or something like this. And that's another thing. You ride the kind of bike you ride because you want to ride your ride, okay? Even when I'm going on a long trip, I do not take interstates. I don't care. I don't like interstates, and I will not use interstates. Okay, if we're in the car and want to get there, yeah, that's fine. If we're on a motorcycle, I avoid interstates. That's just my personal. I don't like interstates because there's just too much goes on. And when the faster you go, your window of reaction time gets a lot slower, gets a lot smaller, okay? The faster you go, your window of reaction time gets smaller, if that makes any sense. You know, if you're putting along there 10 miles an hour there and there's a turtle crossing the road there, we say, oh, well, I'll hit the brake and move this turtle. But if you're running 180 miles an hour down the road there, that turtle's dust, okay? See what I'm saying? Your window, your reaction time, your window for reaction time changes with your speed. So, my top speed, the most time I'm going, maybe it's because I'm 73 years old. Yeah, I don't know. But I don't like going much more than 50 or 60 miles. I don't say sometimes I don't. There's times I get on the highway there and want to go somewhere. Yeah, I'll jack her up. I run 70, 75 miles an hour. But I never, ever, ever, ever lose my train of thought and get complacent with this, you know, saying, well, you know, I drive for everybody else. I watch for everything, and I try to be sure. But that's why they call them accidents. Nobody knows. So anyway, you know, like I said, people sometimes kind of, and maybe I shouldn't watch your videos, so I have to apologize to them. Maybe they're trying to put out some good information, and maybe I'm just taking it the wrong way, which is possible. But I just want you to think for yourself. You know, just because, well, I seen this on this channel, or I seen this on this guy talk about that, don't mean they know what they're talking about. There's some great riders out there, okay? And here's the thing, even the best riders you got, they'll say like your trials riders, your hard enduro riders, okay? They're good riders. Your Well, X Games riders, they're great. They are great, but they all ride differently. They might be doing the same tricks. They might be doing the same thing. But if you ever look, nobody rides the same bike, and they all ride different. They might do the same trick, but they all ride different. And that's what I'm saying. So nobody can say, you're doing this wrong or you're doing that wrong. You ride your ride. You be safe your way. You do things your way. And don't worry about what Joe Blow's doing. I mean, if you want to know how he's doing it and he tells you how to do it, that's fine. But you take what he tells you and make it your own. Okay, don't try to mimic him because it don't work. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'm just bitching. Maybe I just wanted to bitch about something. But it's like I just watch these videos for entertainment, and sometimes you can agree with them. Sometimes you can disagree with them, and but don't take nothing you see on the internet to heart unless you do some serious hard fact checking and for sure. Find out for sure. Don't take anybody's opinion for shit. Make your own mind. And hopefully you'll make the right decision. The more informed you are, the better, the more chance you got to making a good decision. If that makes any sense. I don't know. Well, I guess I've belly ached long enough. But hey, well, as always, ride safe and ride free.